Welcome to Family Focus. I'm Joyce Johnson, CEO of Johnson & Olson Communications and Casting. My guest today is Naomi Sciulli. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
It seems like we were just here.
We were, yes. It's been such a long time.
I know, long time no see. And we're wearing the same clothes.
Yes.
Oh, it's good to have you here. We want to talk today about the different things that help your life, and that's what it's all about. We can start anywhere you want. You bring all kinds of different products here. And the last show we talked a little bit about this spray that you use to not only clean your fruits and vegetables, but also to kill bugs.
Yes.
Correct. Which is this spray.
Yes.
Okay. This is what this does.
Yes. They're all natural.
Okay.
There are no chemicals. And so I started using these products like 4 years ago. And after I started using them, I knew, because, you know, we all get so busy with, you have your kids, you have work, and you find yourself doing the same thing every single day.
Yes.
You get up, you get busy. For all these years, I've never thought about what I had in my house, what I used in my house, what I put on my skin, or what I put in my body, until I quit working. And it's like, whoa, I have all this free time now. So, and we have a mutual friend who was diagnosed with cancer. Things that her doctor told her really made me open my eyes and stop to think, ooh, what are you doing? So I kind of followed in my mother's and my grandmother's footsteps with, you know, if you don't smell it, it's not clean. If you don't smell the bleach or ammonia, it's not clean. So I tried some of these things, and that did it for me. And so then I started doing more and more research on safety, and you know, what are in products that sit at the store, go from a warehouse manufacturer to a warehouse, then onto a truck, and then from the truck to the store, and then you don't know how long it's been sitting there.
Right.
But this company, they manufacture everything, and it's like fresh to order. I mean, when I place my order, it's shipped within a couple of hours.
So you know it's good.
Yes.
And this is unscented, correct?
That is actually a lavender scent.
Oh, lavender scent. I'm just going to see if I smell. Yeah, a little bit. Yes, lavender.
And so none of the products have child safety caps.
Because they don't need them. Doesn't matter.
They don't need them. So, so that spray, this spray here, this is Sciulli. And I also kill bugs with this.
I'm sure you do.
I take it.
I'm sure that's a hobby.
I take it outside and I spray where, you know, I have ant hills, or if there are ants around the patio, I will usually spray it before we have people over for picnics. And in the evening, I do a spray around the perimeter because it helps with mosquitoes. But it also takes stains out of clothes. I have a couple of pictures in my group, my Safer, Happier Home group.
Now, do we have those pictures? We may. I know we have some weed pictures.
We have some weed pictures.
We have some weed pictures.
The clothing, this takes out spots out of clothing.
I've been using hairspray.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah. Hairspray. But again, there's, you know, it's not an organic substance. I've used it whenever there's stains, grass stains, etc. Just spray it on. Put it in there.
Wow.
It does, and it does make things whiter. Believe me.
Wow.
I stain more things than most people. Yes. Than the average
person.
person.
I'm always staining something. I actually carry a bottle this size of that in my purse.
You do? Okay.
Because it's also a deodorizer. So if I go into a public restroom,
yes,
and sometimes they can be pretty, when you walk in the door, they can be bad.
Yes.
So I will break this out of my purse, and I'll just, it's a deodorizer.
That's interesting. And I always wear a little perfume, like a little light perfume when I go out. But yes, it's like you want to smell nice, and you don't want to have bad odors around you.
And then that way, if I am out eating and I
smell,
which I always do, often, I will just take it out of my purse and I'll just spray it on wherever, and until I get home, and then it helps, you know, keep it from settling. But my grandson plays baseball, and of course they have to wear white pants, right?
I know, I've never understood that. What is it about the white pants?
What's wrong with black?
And they're playing in dust and dirt.
Yes, and they get so stained up.
Yeah.
Sliding.
Yeah. Sometimes if they don't wash it, they wear the dirty clothes the next game. You see the poor kid.
There you go.
You see the poor kid in the same dirty clothes because his mom or dad did not have time to wash the pants.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen it.
And they're white.
Yes.
And they're nasty.
They're very white, yes.
So, my daughter uses all these products with my grandson, but my grandson has the whitest pants on the team.
I bet he does. I mean, with you as a grandma, you bet the pants are white.
I spray that on clothes, and then you have my son-in-law has a job where he works with chemicals. Mm-hmm. They're safe chemicals, but they have a very, very strong odor.
Yeah.
Mechanics, they, you come home and their clothes smell like grease. So you can take some of that, a couple capfuls, put it in your laundry, and it deodorizes the laundry. Okay.
Now we have another. I don't know what's necessary. This is another.
That is actually. That's actually what's mixed in this bottle here.
I see. Mm-hmm.
And so there's multiple purposes, for this.
For that,
but you add it to the bottle and you add water, because after doing some of the research that I've done, I find out that most products that you buy are almost 90% water.
Now that is a little eye-opening, because you think you're getting water?
Yes. So I did some research on laundry detergent.
Okay.
This is our the laundry detergent that I use. It's 9 times concentrate. So this bottle will wash 96 loads of laundry. But it's
that's a lot.
And it has a very good lavender scent.
It's beautiful. That's a lot of laundry. So you must not put very much in it.
No, very small amount.
Yeah.
But when I started researching it, I found out that most laundry detergents are almost 90% water. And we all have water.
I know. We can all do
so
that.
You don't want to pay extra.
Right.
For water. So, that bottle there will make more than 6 of,
And so detergent is so expensive. No doubt about it.
Very, very expensive.
Very expensive. All right, so we have, this is room spray.
That is room spray.
Okay.
That is a scent that no longer, it was apple cider.
Okay.
But what I do is I put this Sciulli in that spray bottle.
Okay.
And I use it to freshen my house. So it takes the place of, Febrezes and, Glade fresheners that have a lot of chemicals in it. So it's safe around the kids, safe around the pets. My dog is forever, and I know you have pets.
Oh, I have so many pets.
They are constantly licking stuff up off the floor.
Yeah.
Or if you drop.
That's how we clean the floor.
Yeah, that's right. Our dog's nickname is Hoover.
Yes. Or why do dishes when you have a dog, right?
Sure.
Am I right?
Yeah,
you could just put the bowl down, they'll clean it up for you, and you're good to go.
They lick it clean.
Right.
But yeah, so I started researching that and a lot of the chemicals that people use on your floors.
Yes.
Or spray in the room, drop to the, it lingers, it drops to your furniture, it drops to the floor. And so it's not only harmful for the kids because they're crawling on the floor, crawling on the furniture, but the dogs also.
Yeah, they don't need that chemical spray.
No.
They don't need that stuff.
No, they don't.
So fun in the sun.
Fun in the sun.
This is, for those of us that go out and you can burn very easily, it is a challenge to find, what protects your skin and what doesn't. What is just, are just going to come off as soon as you walk in the water. I mean, that is something to think about.
Yes. So there again, I pretty much buy any household essential, I buy from my own shopping site because it's safer than what I could buy at the store, and most of the time cheaper. But I'd have a hard time finding sunscreens for the kids when they would come over to swim, and then I realized, they have sunscreen for the kids, and it's a 50, and it just sprays on very nice, and it stays on their skin really well.
Do you need at least a 50? I mean, that was a kind of a debate. How much do you need? Like, what level do you need to be, especially if you're very fair, or if you have young children? You put them in hats and all kinds of things, but they should have at least 50, would you say?
At least.
Okay.
My grandkids are very fair complected. So, even playing in the yard, you don't think, well, they're not going to be out in the sun much.
You can walk out. I can walk out. I mean, my nickname was Casper. I mean, come on. You can walk out in the sun or just driving and have your arm out and it will burn.
Yes.
If you are fair-skinned, you have to use some kind of sunscreen and protect yourself.
Yes, exactly. So, my kids put it on their kids, as soon as they come over, because if they're going to play in the yard, they're going to be exposed.
Right.
And we go to a lot of baseball games, from all the pant washing I do. So
yes, the white pants. Going back to the white pants, change the color.
Yes.
If you're in charge of this, change the color.
Yes, please.
Make them brown.
Please.
Make them green.
Brown or black. Purple even.
Even dark purple.
That's right.
Plum. Make them plum.
But, and also being outdoors, even during the daytime, it doesn't matter. Bugs are everywhere.
Yes.
So, I have like a kit that I keep in my car. So I keep sunscreen in the car. I keep hydration drinks in the car because we never know where we're going to end up. Bottles of water. But I also keep the bug spray because we do carry a natural bug spray that I've talked about before. But even during the day, if you're, working in the yard, working in your garden, you're at a baseball game, you should try to at least spray your shoes or sandals and the bottom half of your legs, because if you're walking across the grass, you could pick up gnats, ticks, or what have you. So I always keep that handy so that, we're
Can you use it on your dogs? Is it something that you can use on your dog?
Actually, the Sciulli I have used on the dog for tick prevention.
Okay.
I use the hair care products, the shampoos on the dog because they're natural. But yeah, that's why I kind of switched up everything, because I did realize, it's not only good for us and the kids, but the pets.
Yeah, you got to protect your pets because they're out there.
So the other thing that I'm doing to protect the pets is, it's that time of year. Well, it started months ago with the weeds, right?
Yes.
So I have this concoction that I mix up. I think I actually have a couple pictures.
We do have pictures.
To
yes,
show.
there's some pictures.
Okay, so those are the weeds before, in the cracks, in the flower beds. And then after I sprayed this mixture on them, within a few hours,
they're dead.
Brown.
Yes.
And so this is safe to use. That's in my flower bed.
Okay.
They were green, but
those are the weeds.
Now they look like straw.
Okay.
And sometimes it'll kill them to a point where I don't even have to pull them. If I just take a little rake and kind of mix it in with the mulch, or you wouldn't even know that they were there.
They would dry up, right.
So, but it's so important with kids and pets to not spray a lot of chemicals in the yard. Also, it can seep into your water supply. Yeah. If you have well water.
Yes.
So I take 2 cups of Epsom salt and I put it in a big bowl and I dissolve it with a gallon of vinegar. And I just keep stirring. Sometimes if the salt won't dissolve real well, the 2 cups of salt, I have put boiling water from the stove, just a tiny bit, just to get that water to dissolve. Because if you're going to use a weed sprayer, like I use, you don't want it to clog the nozzle. So I will dissolve the salt first.
Yeah, so because that is thick.
Yes, the salt grains
the salt grains are rather thick to be using.
Salt, yes.
To be using
so, so I dissolve them first. Mix a gallon of white clear vinegar and 1/4 of a cup of, this is the laundry. This is the dishwashing soap that I use that doesn't have any chemicals in it. Some of the recipes that I've seen online, have you use Dawn detergent or another soap detergent, but it's kind of defeats the purpose if, and if you're just going to add poison to
And
it.
you don't want to kill your plants.
No.
Either. So this would be good when you're in your garden, especially. I can tell you, in my garden there are weeds that come up, and you don't want to kill the good vegetables and the good plants. So that would be effective in just killing the weeds and not destroying your plants. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I accidentally sprayed one of my lavender plants that had just started to come up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was lavender because it was mixed in with
You don't know.
all the weeds.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you can't. That's okay. My husband just pulled all my cucumbers.
Oh. Oh.
Well, and my one son mowed over my entire garden one year.
Oh.
That's how bad it was. But there were weeds in there, so he didn't know. He didn't know. He actually mowed over all of it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was devastating.
So you could either use your homemade weed killer, or you could use the mower.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever
is easier for you to use.
Whatever one you choose.
Right.
So, very good for the garden. It will not kill your plants.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was cleaning out my father's garage, and we had an old gallon of vinegar that was sitting there. It was a couple years old. I wasn't sure if it was still good.
Yeah, how long is vinegar good?
I don't know. I didn't look it up, and I figured, I'm just going to throw this out. So we just poured it down his driveway, and it of course went into all the cracks.
Yeah.
And the next day, the weeds.
There was no weeds.
There were no weeds.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think when you're spraying around your plants, salt is fine for vegetable plants and flowers.
I was reading, and you may not know the answer to this, but I was reading somewhere that it's good to pour salt into your sink and into your drain. Like, what might that do to help that process? Do you know?
It may help deodorize it a little bit.
Okay.
But for a natural sink cleaner and clogger, I use baking soda and vinegar.
Okay.
And if you've ever seen the two put together, it creates...
Makes a volcano?
It does. It literally...
The science project?
It is. That is a good science project.
Okay.
And I showed my grandson. Mm-hmm. So I just pour out of the box some of the baking soda. I pour it down the drain. That's slow draining.
How much?
About a half a box.
Okay. All right.
And then I just take a gallon of vinegar, because I keep vinegar, gallons of it,
I would imagine,
in the garage because of the weeds. But I just take vinegar and start pouring, and as soon as the two hit and starts going down the drain, it just turns into bubbly foam, and it has cleared.
Mount St. Helens in your sink.
It is. But Drano and some of those chemicals, not only are they not good for you, but they're not good for the pipes, the plumbing either.
Yes.
So, yes, and I got into the habit. I've also heard from one of my professional plumbers, that if you take a kettle full of boiling water once a week, once every couple weeks, and just pour it down the drain, it will help keep, the buildup.
Keep it unclogged.
And help keep it unclogged.
Okay.
But when it does become slow or a little bit clogged, I use the baking soda and vinegar as a very good natural way to clean the drains.
See, what I've been doing, and do not laugh, I would take like an orange or something and put it in there and just let it grind up a little bit to have it smell nice. But that's not necessarily the best way to do that. It doesn't really clean it out. It just makes it smell good for a while.
It'll help freshen it, yes,
Right.
but the baking soda also
Baking soda,
would help it too, because a lot of people will put a box of baking soda in the refrigerator to draw,
pick up odors.
Draw the odors.
Yes.
So the baking soda and vinegar, even once a week, just a little bit, would help keep the drains from smelling.
Maintaining it.
Or the garbage disposal.
Yes. All right, so what do we have pans here? What were these for?
So,
was this for some?
Does
this have a purpose?
This does have a purpose. Okay. I knew that it would probably melt.
Okay.
Since it's going to be 90 today.
Yeah.
By the time I got here, so I thought I would just bring some to show you.
Okay.
So if we're talking about some summertime activity with the baseball and sunscreen and bug spray.
And I'm drinking the smoothie that we made. These are very healthy.
That's with the vanilla
with the powder
protein
mix. It's very good. Yes.
So what you want to do is I think we did talk about this when I entertain for picnics. I don't like to keep the food outside because of there's bugs everywhere.
You don't want bugs in it.
But you also don't want your food to spoil and go bad. So if you take some of these tins, doesn't matter what size you use, depending on what you're making. So if you've got an oval one that you're going to have salad in, buy 2. This one, I put water a third of the way up, and I put it in the freezer. So you've got a solid sheet of ice. So therefore, when I put my potato salad, coleslaw, vegetables, you just set it right on top, and it will stay cold.
And then you could use one as a cover. Just have extra. I have never heard of doing that. So it freezes. Just put a little bit there. It keeps it cold. You don't have to worry about even having it in the cooler.
No.
Yeah.
And and as it slowly starts to melt, then you're going to consistently have that cold water in your pan, so it's going to melt and it's going to go down and it's going to go down.
Yes.
But you don't have enough water in there where it's going to make a mess.
To spill all over the place and be a problem. Right.
So you only want to fill it like 1/3 of the way full. But you could do this with any size any size of these containers, because who wants to clean up after a party?
I've grown to love those containers. For the reasons we just talked about, because I don't like to do a lot of cleanup, and you have to do some because you can't buy everything already, that you can just throw away. But you want to be a little, be aware of the environment, etc. But boy, when you want to get a quick meal, everybody eats, and then you can just throw it away. You don't have to worry about cleaning it. And sometimes those are very difficult to clean up the pans when you've made chicken or when you've made something kind of messy in those.
And you're not really wasting, because the one that you've used with the frozen water in it just had water in it, right?
Yeah.
So then after your picnic or your party and you're putting everything away, just throw the water out. And then you can use the second one, So another good use for these is something for the kids. Now, my daughter makes a lot of these, and I just made this in this container to bring so that it would not make a mess everywhere, all over the place. So I don't know if you can see that.
Oh my goodness, it's cute.
This is like a little activity. For kids. She makes them as sensory. She works with kids who have autism, learning disabilities, and she will use these for sensory, so they can touch and feel and find things. She's made a ton of them, and they're so cute and so helpful with the kids.
So what would be in there?
So here you can buy these little, you can, I don't know, get them anywhere. Amazon, there's little erasers. There are little stones. At some of the stores, you can find like little mini paper clips, all kinds of little tiny miniature things, flowers, you name it. I mean, it's endless possibilities. But for a kid's birthday party, if you made these, you could actually make them in these tins, or in just store-bought throwaway containers. I use these to do my food preps and stuff in, and I get them like 10 in a pack on Amazon. But you take rice, 1 cup of rice, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 3 to 4 drops of food coloring. So you can make the rice any color that you want.
Like a little ocean there.
So if you're having a theme party for your kids, but what you could do is kind of have this be a game. And not only can you use it for sensory, for kids that are having problems or issues with sensory issues, but you could use it for a game. So you could have the kids blindfold themselves, right? And in a big container, you need to find the paper
whale.
clip or the whale.
The little whale eraser.
That's like a whale. Oh, you need to find a penny, feel for it. So it's just, it's a fun way for the kids to play. You can always use the rice left over later for, put it in a bottle with and shake it up. They sell these games for kids where it's a cylinder and then they put the little items in the cylinder and you shake it back and forth.
Gosh, so when I was a kid, we just ate glue. We just ate the paste. That was kind of our sensory.
That's right.
With our Frito Bandito erasers, right?
That's right.
That's what we did.
That's right. So
that was our sensory. And you can buy all of those little things in the little shell. You can put things in the shell also. I noticed that.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of little things that you can do that they could. And again, who would think to color the rice?
My daughter.
Your daughter would
think
of
that's
that.
what
she gets it from her mom.
She likes it, themed things. So
I do too.
She colored the rice. You don't have to, but it's one less step you have to take.
Yes.
But it makes it kind of fun for the kids.
And it's very safe.
So
Very
yes.
safe. Real quick, anything else that we have not gone over here? I tried to cover everything here.
Yes, here's just one little thing that you can make. Now, I sometimes have made, well, in the past I've made my own.
Real quick.
But now I use this for, I'm a dreamer.
Okay.
So for those of you who have trouble sleeping, I spray my pillow, my linens, and my bedding at night, about 45 minutes before I go to bed. If you want to make your own, buy this from a store. Lavender, peppermint, and cedar wood.
Awesome.
Shake it up.
Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Naomi Sciulli. I'm afraid we're running out of time. I'm Joyce Johnson of Johnson & Olson Communications and Casting. My guest today, Naomi Sciulli from A Safer, Happier Home. Thank you for joining us on Family Focus.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.